Hello, and welcome to Dickinson's Real Deal. Our dealers are here. They've got bundles of cash, but they need to part with it.
I'd be happy to get it under £4.
£2,500.
You stopped.
Will there be a few tense moments at the auction? I think so.
130, 140, 150.
I thought it might be close.
450.
This has jumped way up.
Anybody else?
Today, the show comes to you from Loughborough. There's a great crowd of people. They brought along their treasures. They're going to either go home with cash in their pockets or gamble and go to auction. But either way, they want the real deal.
It's going to be a busy day in the den, so let's look sharp and head over to Jan Keen's table. Martin has brought in some early 20th century Dalton Lambeth jars and jug, and he knows what he wants and how to get it.
Today I'm hopefully going to be looking for about £120 for the items that I brought, and I'm really going to be looking to push the dealer hard today, so hopefully I'll get the real deal.
I'll be making an offer for the 3 items of about £70–80, and we'll see if he's going to be happy with that.
Well, you can't both have what you want here.
Well, would you like to tell me about these 3 items of Dalton you brought in today?
Absolutely, yeah, I bought them about 18 months ago. I've got the 2 tobacco jars, which have got mottos on them, one by Charles Kingsley and another is a Bismarck jar. And
Yes.
I also brought an Edward and Alexandra commemorative jug there, so I bought them about 18 months ago, but I'm under strict instructions now that I have to declutter, so...
Did you buy them on the internet?
No, I bought them at a local antique market
Oh,
to me,
right.
so yeah, I'm always rooting around the antique markets and things like that.
So you're looking to get your money back?
Hopefully make a little bit of profit as well.
They appear to be perfect, which
Yeah.
is always nice.
Yeah.
And the sort of little rhymes on them are quite interesting.
They are really nice.
This Bismarck one especially, and also the little collection of pipes here. I think that's quite a sort of curiosity.
It is, yeah.
And of course, each of them is marked with the Dalton mark.
Yeah.
And rather nice. And then this one again has got a rhyme on by Charles Kingsley.
Yeah.
And then we come to the jug, which is in fact rather handsome because that's a nice size.
Yeah.
And appears to be absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And has these nice 2 ovals on commemorating Edward and Alexandra. So I'm going to have to put some money on the table. I'm going to have to see if you're going to be happy with that or not.
Yep.
So we'll start with 50, £60. What do you think of that?
Not a bad start, but
Only a start?
Absolutely.
So if I put 80 down, how does that grab you?
Getting closer.
Well, supposing I put another 10 down to make it 90, then you'd have to be looking for well over £100 at the auction to match that.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Martin?
Getting there quite close, I think.
Well, I've just looked at the estimates on these, and in some way I'm a little surprised. The lowest estimate is 80 to 120, and then, of course, we've got a 1 to 150. If a bit more was pushed to 100 quid or thereabouts, it might be worth taking that now rather than gamble, because this Dalton Lambeth isn't running away in the sale room.
Yep.
But on saying that, Jan, all those pieces are clean,
They are.
quality, and they're ready to go.
Yeah, I agree with everything David said. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Yep.
I'm scooping up this.
Yep.
Putting down another 50
Yep.
and leaving the ball in your court as to what you'd like to do.
If you made it 110, I think we'd have a deal.
I think I'm actually going to stick at 100.
I think we'd probably have a deal.
You got a deal and a handshake?
I think so.
Which leaves you more money to spend on more things.
Absolutely. And hopefully some profit in it for you as well.
I think that was just about the right amount of money to allow me to make a small profit.
Well, I didn't quite get as much as I was hoping for, but I'll be putting my money into some other bits and see if I can make a bit more profit.
Enjoy the hunt for more bargains, Martin. Meanwhile, on Mark Stevens' table, Gina has a real sparkler, and it's got him all excited.
I've brought in a 1.6 solitaire diamond, and I think I'd like to get between £2,500 and £3,000.
absolutely love it. I want this. This is not going to be leaving my table to go to any auction.
Well, only if you offer enough money, Mark. And auctioneer Annabelle Brammer is also watching on with David, hoping she can get her hands on the ring.
What do you think about the ring?
Well, it's a beautiful ring. Every lady would love to own it.
Can you tell me the history of it?
It was my mother's. I imagine it was bought in the 50s. It was too big for me.
Right.
And I just think it's a waste sitting there now.
Well, if we have a look at it, it's a very, very beautiful diamond. The weight of the stone is there somewhere around about 1.60 carat.
Yes.
And then we have two smaller diamonds on either side, slightly dropped down on the shank. And I think they're approximately around 8 to 10 points each.
Right.
It's mounted in 18 carat white gold.
Yes.
My feeling is this has been remounted at some stage. I don't think the diamond started life in this mount because normally the mounts on these are slightly better quality or platinum, and I think it's possibly been remounted. Having said that, it doesn't make no real difference to the price because we're buying predominantly the value of the diamond.
Right.
And I'm going to have a look at my glass, and it's a lovely clean diamond. No what we call inclusions. Our inclusions are black marks or white marks within the diamond.
Right.
The colour seems to be nice and white. It's a brilliant cut diamond compared to an old cut diamond. Did you know that?
No.
No. Well, this has 58 facets. So it allows more light into the diamond, so when the light comes in and comes out the stone, it gives a better clarity, a better colour to it.
Right.
So brilliant cut stones are that much more expensive.
Oh, right.
Now, Annabelle, a nice, clean solitaire stone, 1.6 carats. What do you think about the ring?
It's a great colour, and I just think it's just, you know, it would do very well in the auction if it did happen to go there.
OK. What's your estimation of this?
Well, 2,000 to 3,000 to encourage the bidding. Hopefully it might make the 2,500. Just depends on the day, really, if the right lady's in the room.
OK. Our dealer at the table today is Mark, and I think he's going to try and buy this. Let's see what Mark puts on the table.
I'd love to try and buy it. Well, let's see what we got, shall we?
Yes.
Where shall we start? 50, 1, 150, 2, 250, 3, 350, 4, 450, 5, 550, 6, 650, 7, 750, 8, 850, 9, 950, 10, 1050, 11, 1150, 12, 1250, 13, 1350, 14, 40, 50, 15. 1550, 16, 50, 17, 50, 18, 50, 19, 50, £2,000, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, 500, £2,500.
You stopped.
What's your gut feeling about that? Here comes David. I think he's going to tell you.
Now, the estimations vary. They go between £2,000 and £3,000. It's desirable and it's commercial, so there is a reasonable chance that you could get more than that, but that is a gamble. So I'm going to step back and say, let's see what happens next. Is there any more money to come on the table, Mark? Well, let's wait and see.
Thank you, David.
Right.
Well,
I want to make you happy because that's important to me. And I'd like to buy it, and I want to treat you fair. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into the pocket, 2006.
I would like to see a little bit more of the table covered.
There's 2007, 2,750, £2,800. Are you happy with that money? I really want you to be happy. It's important.
I would like you to have it because I don't really want to go to auction.
OK. Well, look, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. OK, because I want to be fair to you. I'll give you £2,850 to seal the deal. And really, I'm right on my money now for you. Thank you very much indeed. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. That was great. I'm very pleased with Mark and how he did it, what he did, and I hope my ring's in a good home.
I am delighted to buy that ring. It has made my day.
So, a happy customer and a happy dealer, and we've only just begun. Coming up, Simon plays the poor dealer card.
You know, I'm not being greedy, and wouldn't you want to earn at least 10% on that?
If we saw one more of those go down...
Honestly, Pete, I think that's fair.
Will Pete show him any sympathy?
Where have you been? Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
Pete is next to sit down with Simon Schneider, who's feeling confident today.
It's always of interest to buy gold because it's very easy for me to sell, and it's the one time that I've got an advantage over the auction because I can always bring in the old buyer's premium.
Simon seems like he'd drive a hard bargain, but it's business at the end of the day.
How did these come to be in your belonging?
Well, they've come to me from my grandfather. He was a collector of quite a strange number of extravagant items.
And do you know what all these coins are?
Well, yeah, obviously the centrepiece here, the Krugerrand from South Africa, that's the largest coin. The others, all various different sovereigns.
I think there's one Russian coin there as well. And I guess what it probably is the Russian equivalent of a sovereign. The interesting thing about the centrepiece, the Krugerrand, is it's a common misconception that a Krugerrand weighs exactly an ounce of fine gold. In fact, an ounce of gold is 31.1 grams, and a Krugerrand weighs 34 grams, but it's not pure gold, it's 22 carat gold, not 24 carat gold. But when you think of the value in one of those, I mean, that's a lot of money in one coin there. Sure. And the sovereigns and half sovereigns, well, I think everyone sort of knows about those. The other gold content, which we should mention here, as well as all the coins themselves being 22 carat gold, there's mounts on all these coins as well, and the mounts are all 9 carat gold, but of course that still has a value as well, so that all gets into the equation of working out how much these are worth.
Right, yeah.
It comes to quite a bit of money, as I'm sure you're aware. So I think all that remains for me to do is to try and tempt you with lots and lots of money.
OK.
Sounds good, doesn't it? Right, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, £1,500.
OK.
Let's get David's opinion.
Did you have any expectation when you came today? Did you have a price in mind?
Yeah, I had an idea of what I was looking for.
Well, this is what our people are saying. They're saying £1,800 to £2,200. They say there is, in precious metal, about £1,950. Not a bad starting offer. I'll leave you with Simon, because Simon will be able to value this to a penny. Well, maybe to £1. OK, go on, Simon. Carry on the business. I'm going to get out of the way.
Thank you, David. So I think that means you want more.
Yes, certainly.
Right. There's another 100, that's 16.
OK.
And there's another 100, that's 17.
OK.
Now, that's where I'd like to stop, Pete.
Right.
If you put these in auction, you will have to pay a set commission. But the trouble is that whoever buys them in auction will also have to pay what's known as the buyer's premium. So basically, that's a good bid, and David's going to confirm all that now.
My job on this show is to look after members of the public. That's going to leave an easy profit for dear Simon. What we've got to try and do is whittle away a little bit of that profit and say, can you be a little bit more kind to me, Simon?
Meow.
I think we'd all be happy with another one of those.
I accept that. I think I'm getting out of the way because this young gentleman has got the idea how to manipulate and how to do this game.
He's a good negotiator. If you laid out £1,750, wouldn't you want to earn at least 10% on that?
Certainly, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. You know, I'm not being greedy, and let's be honest about this, the auctions won't do it for 10%, but I will.
Yeah. Well, if we saw one more of those go down,
Honestly, Pete, I think that's fair. I'm just a poor dealer. I'm just trying to earn myself 10%.
Trying to earn some sympathy.
Just trying to get by.
Okay.
17.50.
We got a deal.
Thank you very much indeed.
Cheers.
It's a pleasure doing business with you.
And you. Simon was exactly as I expected him to be. He drove a hard bargain, and hopefully I did as well.
Pete put up a really good battle and quite rightly tried to get as much out of me as he could, but he's left me a bit of profit and I'm very grateful.
And Michael Hogburn could be up against another tough negotiator when he faces Sally and her lamp.
I'd like to get at least £400 and I'm going to make mincemeat of Michael.
Often people overvalue their Moorcroft because of the prices they were at when they were at their peak, but I will have a go at it. Sally, thanks for coming in. You brought in something which is instantly recognisable by, I would say, most of the viewers, you and me. We don't even have to turn it over. Tell me about it.
Well, it's Moorcroft.
It is Moorcroft.
A lamp base.
And the pattern?
An enemy.
Spot on.
And it was left to my dad by his uncle, Uncle Fred, and that was about 40 years ago. So I've had it for about 14 years, and it was in use up to last night.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a 1940s, 50s piece, which you can tell by the Made in England mark on the base and the impressed Moorcroft.
Yes.
The earlier pieces, they've got a signature on and things like that. It's a pattern which they've used many times. And Moorcroft is renowned for its decoration and its tube lining. And this is tube lining, this bit's around here, the way they paint inside the tube lining. Some decorators were better than others, and people buy and sell Moorcroft by how well it's decorated within the tube lining. And when you look at these, there's no spills, there's no pink coming into the blue. You know, it's just been well decorated. I quite like it. You got a rough idea of value?
Yes.
So, should we just go straight to the money?
Yeah.
OK. Let's see what we can do. I will go 50, 100, 120, 130. How's that?
No.
You want to grab a little bit more money?
I do.
Let's see what I can do. 140, 150.
No.
No, how much do you want for it?
More than that.
It's gone down a bit, Moorcroft. It's not at its peaks of like 5-6 years ago, you know? I'll go up a little bit more, but I can't go a lot more. 160, 170, 175. That is my final bid, Sally.
Is it?
Yeah.
Then it's off to auction. OK, thank you.
I wish you luck.
Thank you.
What happened to making mincemeat of Hoggy, Sally?
Well, Michael was a lovely chap, much nicer than I thought, but he wasn't nice enough to give me the price I needed, so I'm off to auction.
But has Sally made the right call?
I think it might struggle, really. I think the Moorcroft market does fluctuate. 110, 120, 120 for it.
You've placed a reserve of 150, which is slightly less than you turned down from Michael Hogburn. So if it went slow in the room and it only got to 150, the time the commission comes off, you would be in a losing situation. So it's a bit of a gamble, you know this. But 150 is the reserve. Let's find out where we go. Coming up now.
120 starts, 120, 130. 130 for it. 130, 140, 150. 150, 160. 160 for it. At 150.
It's 160 and it's slow.
160 is it?
I thought it might be close.
In the room. 160 anywhere else. 160 is it at 150 bid.
Now this is the gamble you take on the show. 150 it's gone down at.
Yes.
I make that 123 quid. Now you've taken the commission off. Are you disappointed?
I am, but it's been interesting being here today, so swings and roundabouts.
Swings and roundabouts.
Yes.
Very nice of you to say so. On this occasion, it's the Cockney Geezer. £175, Michael. You were right on the money, mate.
Indeed he was, David. That was a lesson learned the hard way for Sally. Coming up, what is Simon playing at?
You obviously didn't look very impressed with 200.
Not at all, no. If you just want to take the Batmobile for that, that's fine, Simon. But what about the rest?
Holy smoke. We'll find out if he ups his game after the break. Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal from Loughborough in Leicestershire. The crowd is packed in like sardines, so we can fit in a few more deals yet. Our next stop is Jan's table, where Jim has brought in a Masonic box and some rosary beads.
I would like $250 for them, and if I don't get $250, I'm going to take them to auction.
They look very interesting, and I will be having a good go to buy them. So would you like to tell me about these two interesting items you've brought in today?
Well, one, the box with the Masonic signs on, came via my wife's granddad, and the rosary came via my grandmother, although we're not Catholics, and this fits in the box, and it's just two items that have been kept together. You know, I know they sort of shouldn't be related together, but
No.
they have been, you know. So I thought we'd bring them along to see if they were worth anything today.
Well, they're very interesting. We'll start with the rosary first, which I believe is in bone.
It's not ivory, no.
See, no, it just doesn't feel like ivory. I think ivory's a bit of a different colour, and I'm quite sure this is bone. And then it's very interesting because it's got a little Stanhope, I believe it's called, through the centre, and it's a tiny little figure through there, a little religious little figure. It's absolutely weeny. It's so clever.
Yeah.
So that's rather nice and in good order, and you've got this little heart-shaped bit of carving there, which is rather nice. And then we get to the Masonic box. As you say, it's got all the usual symbols on it, and I believe it was a snuff box.
Do you know what it's made of?
Lacquer.
Lacquer, right.
It's papier-mâché lacquer. You can hear it like there. And then you've got this interesting, what I believe to be a sort of continental silver with the usual motif in the middle, with the square and the knife. And then you've got a snake going all the way around the middle containing that, with a globe in the middle. There's so much going on. There's a lot to it. So time to move it on.
I think so, yes.
You got an idea of what you want for it?
I have indeed, yes.
So let's hope it tallies up with mine.
OK.
Well, let's see where we go from here. Supposing we put 60. What do you think about that?
No, it's not enough, though.
That's interesting. OK, well, let me take the 10 away and put down 2 20s to make that 90.
No.
I suppose it's the Masonic box, really, that you feel is the more...
I do indeed, yes, yeah.
higher-priced item. OK, so I put my £10 back in to round it off to 100.
No.
You still don't look too impressed?
No, not to that, no.
Well, I've been known to have a go. 150. 200. I must be getting closer now.
You're getting very close now. Very close indeed.
Because there's a little bit in the stab in the dark for me. I know it's interesting being Masonic. I think I'm going to put another 20 down and say 220, and I think I'm pretty well there.
So that's your final offer, is it, madam?
As a last gesture, another £10 down to make 230. And do you think that clinches the deal?
I do indeed. That clinches the deal for me, Jan.
We have a handshake.
We do indeed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I know I was adamant that I didn't get £250, I was going to go to auction, but a little bit of mental arithmetic regarding the commission, I thought £230 was a very good offer.
I'm happy to have bought these two items, especially the Masonic box, because in fact my brother's a Mason and I can ask him all about it, what all the symbols mean.
So you have some insider information then, Jan. That should help you move it on. On the other side of the den, Colin has brought along something a little bit different, but will Mark know what to do with it?
A very unusual piece of silver. I actually like this. It's quite quirky, and I think there's a market for it. I'm going to try and buy this.
I'm hoping to get about 350 or a bit more. I've seen Mark on the programme before, and I think he's quite fair, but he might just want pushing a little bit.
You've brought me along something quite unusual. What we're going to do is going to take it apart. So I'm going to hold this and twist, And voila. Now, what have we got here? First thoughts are either to put spools of cotton over or a ring tree.
It is a ring tree. It's been confirmed by the silversmith.
I would probably say it was something that a lady would have put the rings over the top just to store them. So it's just a method of storing rings rather than leaving in a jewellery box. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite tactile. I quite like it. It's got something about it. This was made in 1985.
That's right, yes.
By Peter Musgrove.
Yeah.
He's a known maker.
He was well known, yeah.
Right.
I don't know that he does so much now.
Right. The 1960s, 70s and 80s silver is making a bit of a revival. It's coming back.
Yeah.
People want to buy it now. It's just about the money, so I better put some on the table, Colin.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yes.
Right. Let's see what we got. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200, 220.
No, that's quite a long way off still.
240.
No.
How about £260?
No, it's still got to be more than that.
I think at this stage it'd be wise to bring David in to give us a bit more advice.
Yeah, right.
Well, I've just done a bit of cross-checking with our valuers. Yes, he's well known. They say 3 to 350. My feeling is, if you put another 40 quid and it was 300 quid, that would be its money. But does that show your profit?
Only just. It's pretty
Only
well what I
just.
pay for it, yeah.
OK, I think at £300, it probably is worth a gamble. And we know who does like a gamble.
Right, so... Oh, what the hell? Go on. 280, £300 calling on the table. Can we have a deal?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Great, thank you very much
Thank you
indeed.
very much.
Pleasure, thank you.
I'm reasonably happy with what I got. I could perhaps have got more at auction, but I didn't want to pay the commission.
I love the ring stand. It's got a great feel to it, great look to it, and it's in vogue at the moment. So I'm pleased to buy it, and I'm going to get a profit.
Fighting talk, Mark. We'll see. It's been non-stop today. And over on Simon's table, Andy's brought in his collection of motors. But will these boys be able to agree on a price for the toys?
My only worry is that I know these make very good money in auction, and if the contributor is aware of that, I think I might have a bit of a battle on my hands.
Well, you know what to do, Simon. Cash is king.
Now, Andy, you've bought in a collection of toy cars. There's probably twice as many as this,
yes.
but they wouldn't all fit on the table.
That's right.
So what can you tell me about this collection?
Well, my auntie worked for a famous toy store in Loughborough back in the
Right.
1960s called Clemeson's, and she was a collector of these toys, and she basically boxed them up and put them in a spare bedroom. And years later, I found them when we did the house clearance, so here they are.
Right. So did you collect toy cars yourself when you were young?
I did. I had most of these myself as a boy, so it's like my childhood in a box.
They're
here.
all coming back again?
Yes, it is.
We've got some fantastic ones that I remember from my childhood. We've got the Man from U.N.C.L.E., which I particularly liked as a kid, the Batmobile, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, so some well-known ones here.
Yes.
And, of course, most of these appear to be in their original boxes. There's
They
a
are.
couple that have never been even opened.
That's right,
so,
Simon, yes.
very collectible thing, but I think there's a fair bit of value here. I'm going to make you an offer for them, Andy. I don't know how you're going to feel about it. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, £200.
Well, that's a very kind offer, but if you just want to take the Batmobile for that, that's fine, Simon. But what about the rest?
What I'm doing is I'm taking a bit of a gamble, but I'm not going in head first, if you know what I mean. I'm not gambling loads of money, but you obviously didn't look very impressed with 200.
Not at all, no.
What were you thinking of, Andy?
Well, the few that you see on the table at the moment could be valued anywhere between £300 and £500.
Wow.
Taken to auction, you only need 2 or 3 collectors there to drive up the value.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, I don't very often say this, but I think my offer is probably nowhere near what you might get for them in auction.
I appreciate that.
But just in case you could be tempted, just in case, there's another £100 there. That would be £300 for your collection of toys.
Thank you very much, Simon, but I think I'll take my chance at auction.
I can't say I blame you, Andy. I wish you the best of luck in auction. Thank you very much for coming in today. I think he's got greater expectations than I've got pockets full of money.
So does auctioneer Annabelle feel confident that they'll race away at auction?
I think they'll fly out the auction house, really popular, and the condition's absolutely amazing on them. Even inside the boxes, they haven't been taken out, so looking forward to selling those.
That sounds like good news for Andy. All will be revealed once we head to the sale room where the Duke's getting carried away.
Batman! Batman!
But is he the only one?
And there are 5 bids again.
Amazing.
130, 140, 150.
Find out after the break.
Anybody else?
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
Before the break, Andy turned down Simon's offer of £300 for his Corky and Dinky cars.
£300 for your collection of toys.
I think I'll take my chance at auction.
So is this just child's play? Well, auctioneer Annabelle had high hopes.
Condition's absolutely amazing on them, so looking forward to selling those.
With Andy and David in their starting positions, let's head over to the auction and find out if Andy made the right choice.
They're coming up now. What we have decided to do was break them up into individual lots. The reason for that, we want to maximise and get the best price. First lot is coming up, rocket-firing Batmobile, £200 reserve. Is it going to go? Batman! Batman! He's here.
There are 4 commissions on this, and it starts with me at £380, so 380, 450, 500 on the internet, 500.
Simon, what are you doing, mate?
Is it?
The Batmobile's bringing 500 quid on its own.
550, 580 is it? 580
Amazing.
anywhere. All done everywhere at £550.
550 the first of 13 lots.
Blimey, that blows Simon's measly offer of 300 quid out of the water. We could be in for an amazing ride.
On to the second lot. It is a gun-firing thrush buster. Reserve 100 quid.
Lots of bidding on this. It starts with me at £180, so 180, 200 for it.
180 so far.
200, 200 on the web, 220 over here,
220 on a telephone bid. Against the internet, they're battling it out.
£220 on the telephone, 240 is it? At £220 on the telephone, all done in the room everywhere at 220.
220.
Next up is Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
£100 internet buyer, 110, 110, 120, 130 at £130.
£900 so far. We go to the next lot.
FAB1 from Thunderbirds, and again bids on this.
Reserve £100.
160, 180, 220.
Lady Penelope, Fab 1.
At 240.
The bids just keep on coming, overtaking all the estimates. Can Joe's car do the same?
Joe 90. I remember that.
130, 140, 150, 150, 160.
There's the internet, there's the telephone. They're all competing.
To the telephone bidder at 190.
So we've got another 190 to go on top of that. I make that £1,330. We go to the next lot.
And the money keeps pouring in with the bidders driving up the price.
And there are 5 bids again.
They're all doing much better than their reserve.
The 2 little sports cars and the models of yesteryear bring a further £195 under the hammer.
And we're going in now for
Matchbox Superfast models, 14 in the lot, 130, 140, 150.
the reserve on this lot was £80.
At 190.
OK, a further 190 to go on top of that. £1,715. We go on to the next lot.
Everything's speeding past their estimates. Can the 8 Matchbox series models do the same?
At 95, 110.
The reserve was 40, we're at 110.
At 120, 130 anywhere.
130 goes on top.
And there's still more.
6 in the lot, dump truck, etc. there. 45, 50 on the web.
A Triang Mini Minor is next with a reserve of 50 quid.
130, 140, 150.
This has jumped way up.
At 200.
The traction engine adds another 65 quid to the total. And we're on the home straight now with one more mixed lot to go.
How are these going to do?
At 45. At 50 it's settled. All done.
OK, so the last lot has just brought £50, £2,210 in total. £1,812 is the total after we have deducted the commission. I want your first reaction.
Amazed. Gobsmacked.
Pleased?
Gobsmacked, yes.
Well, I'm pleased too, and I'm pleased that the auctioneer took the trouble to separate these lots. On the day, one of the shrewdest dealers that I know, Simon Schneider from Brighton. Oh, Simon, 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 Simon! You've made a big-time mistake here, matey. £1,812, what can I say? That is a proper deal. That is a real deal.
You're not wrong there, David. What a cracking result. And he's just made 6 times more than Simon was prepared to offer him. So, another very happy customer. What a day it's been. But who has come out on top? Well, although Mark did make a small profit on the ring stand...
Voila!
And Simon and Jan did the same with their items, Hoggy only broke even. So it was our sellers who cashed in big time with their inheritances. Grandad's pennies brought Pete 1,750 crisp pound notes.
So, well done to Pete's granddad.
And the grandparents also handed down the Masonic box and rosary to Jim and his wife, which Jan paid £230 for.
So that's your final offer, is it, madam?
For my part.
And his aunt left him a stash of cash in the shape of corgi and dinky toys.
Lots of bidding on this.
They're all doing much better than their reserves.
He took home a staggering £1,812 at auction. But it was the ring that Gina inherited from her mum that raised the most funds today. Mark was extremely generous.
I want to make you happy because that's important to me. I'll give you £2,850 to seal the deal.
So our sellers have kept it in the family and all together are going home with over £8,000 between them.
Amazing.
Now, I'd call that a result.
Don't forget to join me, David Dickinson, next time for Dickinson's Real Deal. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.